some peace and quiet. Oh. Oops. Sorry. Did I scare you? I didn't see you there. How'd you manage to find your way here? Ah. Well, this is one of my favorite spots on the beach. It's pretty, isn't it? The sun never quite points directly in this cave either. It gets warm without getting too warm. It's a great place to lay down and take a little nap. Don't get me wrong. I love how crazy the summer crowd gets, but sometimes I need a little break. Some of your people get pretty wild, you know that? What about you? Just needed a little break? Sure, that's fair. Well, maybe I can help you relax and we can take a little nap here together. I don't bite, promise. And I don't have any problems sharing my favorite spot. My name's Luca. It's always nice to meet a new face. Especially when it's as pretty as yours. Well, no, I wasn't exactly planning on singing you to sleep. I don't think you want that. A lot of people think merfolk can sing, but I'm not totally sure where that came from. I think it got mixed up with sirens. Sure, some of us can, but it's just like your kind. Some of us are wonderful at it. And some of us are, well, maybe just a smidge less wonderful than others. I'm sure a sweet serenade from you could put me right to sleep, though. I don't suppose you're interested in switching roles here? No? Well, good. I would have insisted I help you out anyway. I offered first, after all. Anyway, there's plenty I could do for you besides singing. Here, why don't you lay your head down on my lap? Yeah, come here, right here. I've been up near the surface of the water all day, so I should be nice and warm from the sun. There we go, make yourself comfortable. Just listen to the waves hitting up against the rocks. Is it okay if I touch you? Just run my fingers through your hair, over your ear, rub down your neck a little bit, that sort of thing. Is that okay? Great. I love the feeling of running my fingers through somebody's hair. Yours is so soft. The salt water always makes mine kind of brittle when it dries out in the sun. How do you keep it so soft? You have something you put in it that keeps it that way. Can anybody use it? Well, I'll make a deal with you. How about if you promise to come back and let me try it? I'll tell you a story. A happy story. Something to leave you with good dreams. And in return, you promise to come back and bring me something to try. Good. It's a deal then. Let's see. Oh, I know a good one. There's a city in the ocean, deeper, further than any merfolk can reach, lest they already know how to find it. Of all the villages and castles I've ever met, they always have a folk appointed to a special job, an honored hunt for the city. Your people call it Atlantis, but our names for it can only be spoken in the breaking of a wave against the cliffs, in the reflections of the northern lights against the waters. We hunt for it. We know we cannot find it, but we will continue to do so long after I'm nothing more than fish food. The place is one where contentment reigns upon all its citizens. All the folk who live there know nothing of strife or sadness. Even the kelp forests of this place warn the folk of sea urchins so as not to let them be stung. There's only one thing that's ever been known to come from this city: a statue of their first and forever leader. And it was found by just the smallest little sardine you've ever seen. It was a blessing that he'd found it, as this sardine was friendly with the tribe, with nearly as much hardship as your Atlantis had in prosperity. They knew nothing of abundance, and they had the worst luck you could possibly imagine, with whole blooms of jellyfish floating through while they slept, the school of merfolk being awoken in a hurry, covered in stings and welts down to the tips of their tail fins. It was like this day in and day out, and the sardine felt sad for the poor folk. And so, when he found this statue, he asked, "Please, won't you help my friends? I've heard of your magic. I've heard of the city that knows no strife, and I don't ask for its secrets. I don't ask to know where it might be found. I only ask that my friends be allowed to live in peace." The kindly king, his magic present in the statue, granted this wish, allowing him one of the many pearls he was decorated with, and he told this sweet, darling little sardine, the fish with the least strength, the least honor, and the least acclaim amongst all the sea, "Take this pearl and each other that I have to offer. Bring one to every villager. Make sure every folk, no matter how young or how old, has one of my gifts, and the curse they live under will have been broken." The sardine knew the villagers. He knew that for all their unfortunate luck, there were many. He would be able to carry only one pearl at a time, and the journey was great. For fear of spoiling the magic, he couldn't tell his friends where the statue lay. So he made the journey. He made it one pearl after another, swimming the trek with the encouragement of the good king. Slowly but surely, the luck turned. Each pearl he brought back came with a day of silence and peace and bountiful hunting, before the luck became misfortune as it had been before. The king's voice grew quieter and quieter as he was stripped of his pearls, the magic in them becoming the property of those who now held his pearls, rather than his own. It was years and years before this sardine was able to take all of the king's gifts. The trek was so great, and he complained about his aching fins and that his gills weren't what they used to be, but still he continued on. His words mattered not for his actions. He knew that even if it took his entire life, he needed to save his friends, and it was as simple as that. On one visit, The sardine noticed that there was only one single pearl left. He was grateful for the sight, both for his friends and for the sake of his own rest, for the fish was old and weary now. He thanked the king one final time, a folk he now considered a friend too, and a folk that considered this sardine a friend as well. He told the sardine to return to him after his final delivery, that although the magic would be gone from him, and that there would be no more of the king left in this statue, he would quite like the sardine to rest along with him. The sardine thought he might quite like that too, and so he agreed. The village, upon the last pearl's delivery, wept as they felt the weight of their misfortune lift a final time. A rush of current, taking it away and bringing them food like they had never seen before. The sardine gave a tired smile, knowing he had their thanks. The sound of feasting and parents crying for the happiness of their children was all he'd wanted, and he had it. So he made his final journey back to the statue of the king. What he found there surprised him, for the voice of the king was gone, but there was a single pearl left in the statue, inset into his crown. It would have been impossible to miss, yet somehow he hadn't noticed it before. He was sure he had taken the final pearl on his last trek. His curiosity, that from his younger years, the same curiosity that helped him find the statue in the first place, pushed him towards it. He was thankful for that motivation, as his fins were weary and he wasn't sure he could have made even that short distance anymore. All he wanted to do was rest on the stone tail of his friend. But something called him to that truly final pearl. And when he took it, something kept pushing him. Come, he felt. He didn't hear the beckoning, but felt it, in the way the ocean stirred and in the way the critters in the sand scuttled. Everything began to move in one pointed direction, and he knew he must do the same, and so he did. He swam, and he swam, a trip much longer than any he'd previously undertaken. It wasn't for a long while until he heard the voice of kelp speaking warnings of sea urchins, and the kind voice of a friend he'd only known as stone in the distance, that he knew where he was. And then his weariness lifted, and so the sardine, least of all fish, yet the most deserving, joined what had become an old friend to live in the permanence of the bliss he had, with the king's help, gifted to his own people. Oh, you cute little thing. Put you right out, didn't it? I always loved that story myself. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. Oh, don't worry. I'll watch you while you sleep.